Good morning, this is us fans, El Stevo here. Hope you're all good out there. I'm very good myself this fine autumn Wednesday morning. It's around 11:30. I've just watched episode 8 of This Is Us, Pilgrim Rick, and wow, I'm still kind of emotional from it. It was such an emotional episode, and the ending and just the way the whole episode came together, and we saw the family making the start of their tradition and how they carry the traditions on. This episode with Christmas coming up and myself and my partner having to decide who we're going to spend Christmas with. Don't do that, Minnie. Who we're going to spend Christmas with, whether it's with my partner's parents or my parents, and with me not getting on with my sister. And last Christmas I spent it alone because I fell out with my partner's mother, so I wasn't welcome there, so my partner and my kids were there and I was here alone. So this episode of This Is Us really resonated with me. And at the beginning when they're preparing, Jack and Rebecca and the kids are preparing to go to Rebecca's mum, and the kids are all like, oh, you're horrible when we go there, and Jack's like, when my parents died I thought we were going to make our own traditions. Now for me, that is perfect. There's myself, like I said, my partner and my two beautiful children. And for me, I would like to have Christmas at home, just the four of us. If people want to come and see us, they come and see us. If they don't, they don't. But I wouldn't want to travel elsewhere. I would much rather make our own stupid traditions. And their family's traditions are absolutely crazy. Obviously, right at the very start of the episode, Kate finished with Toby. I was like, yes, she's done the right thing. She's done something for herself. She dumped the dead weight, absolute idiot of a bloke, Toby. I can't stand him. He doesn't deserve her. And although she really in love with him, Millie, please don't. Although she is in love with him, sorry, my daughter's here today. She is very overactive in the background. Toby he just wasn't right for her, and I think hopefully the show doesn't revisit that relationship. Hopefully moving on to season 2 or later in this season, Kate finds someone that appreciates Kate for Kate. Obviously she arrives at Randall's house right at the very end after we've had the revelation that Randall has found out that Rebecca and William have been corresponding. Rebecca has sent William pictures and letters and stuff like that. Kevin's girlfriend is a bit of a weirdo. She's a very cold, closed-off woman, but we saw her have a bit of a talking to at the hands of William, who seems to play that role in the show of the wise old Pixar owl. He seems to give everyone a good talking to. The way they're going to do his death is really upsetting to me because he's one of my favourite characters in the show. This episode though was just, I did literally sit and cry when you see their traditions. And I always say about this show that it doesn't have any conflicts. It's all genuine family issues that every family goes through. And as a parent, unfortunately enough, I don't have any big secrets that I have to keep from my children as they grow. But I can imagine as a parent, if I did, then you could understand why Rebecca kept that information from Randall as he was getting older. I think she kept the information for a little bit too long, and the fact that he had to go out and find his father himself was not great. But at the same token, you can understand why Randall is upset. I really can't get over how hard hitting this show is at times. There's no action in it. It's very the pacing's brilliant, but it's all emotionally hard hitting. Every episode finds a beat and hits you. When Kate was on the plane with that woman, she was giving her dirty looks for being fat, and then they had the turbulence and stuff, and the woman turns around and says she's going to divorce her husband. Now a brush with death can do that. So it was a really good episode, and it was nice to see how family traditions are created by really random things. And I think with the Pilgrim Rick thing and the hat and Kevin giving Miguel the hat. I think that was really, really good. My daughter's in the background. She's messing about today. Bless her. Yeah, the way that these little traditions that all families have are created is sometimes completely out of the blue. It's always like Christmas, and it's like, right, we're going to do this, but something always goes wrong. Unless you are the perfect family, and I've got no time for you out there. Well, I've got time for everyone, but the perfect family that's uniform and their kids are really well behaved. Christmas and family times coming together is chaos. That's the fun of it. That's what's good about it. Things go wrong. There's arguments, there's fights. Someone gets too drunk and makes a fool of themselves. Normally me. It's just chaos. And if my kids want to run around, they run around. As long as they're respectful to people, that is the main thing for me. I'm not going to hold my kids on a lead and change my tone of voice with them because I'm in company. If my kids are respectful to other children and other adults, that is more than enough for me. As long as they do as they're told and they're respectful, that is enough for me and my children. And that comes across in this episode of This Is Us. And I think Jack, I've said this episode on episode, is the father that all us men want to be. He really is. And it's such a shame that Milo Ventimiglia isn't in the future part of this show. But obviously we're going to find out what happens going into the second half of the season. Anyway, guys, that was the Thanksgiving episode. I hope all you, my American friends out there, my American viewers, have an amazing Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
Obviously I don't celebrate it myself, but I will wish you all the very best. My daughter was saying bye-bye very prematurely there. But for now, this is El Stevo, Pilgrim Jack, episode 8 of This Is Us. I will catch you next week, guys. And have a good Thanksgiving. Peace.